Here in Steilacoom, Washington, is E.R. Rogers Mansion, built in 1891. Even though now it houses a law office, it was built by E.R. Rogers for his wife Catherine and his daughter Kate. In 1893, they were forced to move next door into the smaller home, and it was bought by the Herman family as they ran it as a bed and breakfast. When there were workers in there at night cleaning, they've had encounters of people turning doorknobs, lights going on and off, weird thumps in the night. One night a bartender closed up, turned off the lights, locked the door, walked out to his car. He turned around as he was getting in his car, and the light was on inside. Police were called. They searched the mansion. Nothing was there. When they brought in the K9 unit, they brought the dog up to top floor near the attic. As they were going to search the attic, the dog refused to go in. Also in the attic, there was a strong sense of perfume permeating through the room. Later on, his wife Catherine hung herself in the attic, which people still see apparitions of her, even though she is dead. This is one of my favorite spots in Steilacoom to come to. Even though I've never been inside, it's always interesting to see. Bair Hardware, here in Steilacoom, Washington, built in 1895, served as a post office for a brief time, and then later owned by W.L. Bair, turned it into a breakfast, lunch, and dinner place and soda fountain, sort of like a hangout, and then later converted into a drug and hardware store. After he passed away, workers who have worked here believe that it is haunted by the owner, W.L. Bair himself. In the kitchen, when they were using the oven, they set it at certain temperatures, then come back to food that are burning with temperatures up to 500 degrees. Bottles, dishes, and other things have been reported to be knocked off shelves and causing messes. Workers who also worked here said that around 7 o'clock, when it is dinner time, they often hear sounds of footsteps walking around, door opening and closing noises, and just basic chitter chatter from people who aren't even there. It is still intact, and it is being run right now, sort of what W.L. Bair has had it for. Here at the Ferry Pier train crossing, there have been sightings of an apparition of a person and a little girl. They were struck by the train at the crossing. They said they hear the sound of a train whistle even though there is no train nearby. Then they see the apparition. 1932, Western State Hospital built Hill Ward, which is this location here in Steilacoom, Washington. It was known for a dormitory for male patients who worked on the farms for occupational therapy program. It was since closed in 1965. From 1965 up until about 2009, it was in ruins, and the shell of the building was still intact. As you can tell by the broken down walls there and there, it was just graffitied and broken down by people entering the park. 2009, Lakewood and Steilacoom put together a program to help clean up the park and give a memorial to those who served and worked here at Hill Ward. They did electroshock therapy, put patients in straitjackets, and also did lobotomies on the patients here. There was one film star in 1936 who was committed here, called Frances Farmer. She was then a Hollywood actress in her prime, was committed to be insane one day after she was in jail, then sent here to Hill Ward. You can only imagine what kind of haunted activities went on in the boiler room in the basement, and how many, unexplained noises and footsteps and voices heard throughout the hospital after it was closed down. When much emotion is put through a building, such as a hospital, insane asylum, it leaves emotion imprints. That concludes my haunted tour of Steilacoom and Lakewood. You've seen E.R. Rogers Mansion, Bair Hardware and Drugstore, and now Western State Hospital's Hill Ward here in Steilacoom Park. There are a couple other places I can't really take you to. Thornewood Castle is well known for Stephen King's Rose Red television series. That is located in Steilacoom, Washington, but it's also considered Lakewood. It is a private residence used as a bed and breakfast now. And also, right down here on Lake Waghop Lake, there is a haunted woman that appears when fog rolls in the early mornings. It was a Native American woman that was drowned there, and she usually appears to joggers and people alike. You just never know what you're going to find here at Hill Ward. Till next time, I'm Sonny, and this is my segment for the week.